Hello, everyone. I see we've got four familiar faces in the chat this afternoon. Art Blades here. Hello. Marcus Samoas. Good to see you. Big Pete's here early. Very nice. And Ursula T. Good to see you too. Tindra Westman. Hello. MPK. Good to see you. Hope you guys are all having an excellent weekend. Pop in. Somebody let me know if you can see me okay. I'm watching on my iPad and it seems to be frozen. Oh, never mind. I just popped up. Let's see. Tindra Westman says, hi, how are you doing today? I'm good. Having kind of a quiet weekend, just chilling, taking it easy. I started, let's see, 6 days ago, I started the new book in the Rogue Star Sci-Fi series, and I'm just a little over 10,000 words into it, so that's going good. Darwin Dominguez is here. Greetings. I hope you're having I am having a good day. Thanks. Hope you are too. Big Pete says we can see you. Okay. Okay. Good. It must have just been lagging a little bit. It seems to be caught up now. I always put my iPad on mute just so I can see, make sure the stream is going okay. So I'm glad everything's all right now. What else have I been working on? I went through all the edits on Malice, so that'll be ready to go back for the proofread. I got that booked in 2 weeks. The week of the 15th, I believe. So that'll be good. Marcus Simone says, hey, James, I just finished the 4th book of the Adventures of Brand series by Tao Wong. Not familiar with that, but very cool. Void Walker says, I'm not sure if you remember me. I'm the guy with the dark fantasy question. So you was right. Otto was kind of dark. Haha. I like him already. Oh, very good. Yes, I do remember that. It was an interesting discussion. In 2 weeks, we get a new book. No, in 2 weeks, that book goes to my proofreader. And then I have to go through the proofreads. And then in June, I'm not sure exactly when Joe's going to record it. And then in July, I'm going to do a Kickstarter for that book. I always do a Kickstarter for my newest Aegis of Merlin book. Then I'll fulfill it in August. And I'll release it everywhere at the end of September. But that's the 12th book in that series. So I won't put it up on YouTube until I get the rights back to the rest of the series next year. Then I'll start posting that series. So Global Hoppy says Discord was popping off. Yeah, we had a really nice and I was gonna post this question to you guys too. We had a really nice discussion. I was listening I was listening to the song The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. And I posted the question. This idea just popped into my head. The fiddle contest between Johnny and the devil. I wondered who the the judge was, who decided that Johnny won. Because I said if it was God, it seems like he'd be a little bit biased against the devil. So, and one person said that he thought it was a contest where they kept going back and forth with one person, Johnny playing something, then the devil playing something until the devil couldn't keep up. And another one said that that God would be fair. So even if the devil won, he'd call it that way. I don't know myself, but I thought it was an interesting discussion, and they were still going. Just a few minutes ago, they were still debating it, so that was kind of cool. Darwin says, awesome, I can't wait. I'll be sure to help on the Kickstarter. Oh, good, I appreciate that. Tinder Westman says, could you recommend which series book I should listen to after the Portal War Saga? And have you thought about making some kind of adaptation of the Portal War Saga? I would say go right into the Soulbound Saga. That would probably be my recommendation if you haven't listened to it yet. As far as adaptation of the Portal War Saga, what kind are you talking about? A movie or a TV show isn't something I could do myself. So I'd have to know, what kind of adaptation you were thinking of. Big Pete says the quality of the music is the arbiter. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. But when it comes to any kind of art, especially music, what I might think was the best and what somebody else might think was the best could be completely different things. For instance, when I listen to the song, I very much prefer what Charlie Daniels played for the Devil's part than I did the part that was supposed to have won. So if you go by that, you can't necessarily say, that there's like an objectively better, I think, especially when it comes to any kind of art, to say this art is objectively better than some other art is very difficult, in my opinion. Sarge says, howdy. Good to see you, Sarge. Thanks for stopping. Tinder says, an anime, manga, webtoon, or live action? Yeah, I couldn't do an anime or a live action on my own. They're just way too expensive. I mean, you're talking millions of dollars. For a manga, I would consider it, but that's also pretty expensive. And I'm currently working on a comic book for my Soul Force saga, so I probably that's probably not something I'll do right away. But maybe when I get my subscription up and running, and if I have some regular monthly income coming from that, I could do a poll and see if anybody else was interested. So if there was enough interest, I'd love to do a manga version of it. But yeah, it's a very expensive prospect. Let's see. Sarge says, do you ever ghostwrite or partner with one? I do not. Everything, all my books are written by me and with no one else but my editor, catching my mistakes and stuff. Let's see. RY says, is Roguestar set in the same timeline as the rest of the books or the future? Same timeline, pretty much. That particular, the galaxy, the Roguestar universe stories are set in is more of a technology-based one, but the ether and everything is still present. They just can't see it. They can't at the moment, anyway. We'll see. The devil has to know when he's beat and admit it. So you're right. It has to be an external judge, I suppose. Chippewan says, I always thought the devil conceded. Yeah, he did concede. I can never figure out, how they decided, if he just said, I have a hard time imagining that the devil was like, well, this lowly human was definitely better than me. Doesn't that seem, it just strikes me as unlikely without some outside force or something compelling him to say, all right, you lost. Now give him the golden fiddle and go back where you belong. But maybe in Charlie Daniels song, "The Devil's More Honorable Than I Imagine Him Being in Real Life," or, real life. But you know what I mean. Joseph Blow says Crossroads is a guitar adaptation of The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Oh, interesting. I never seen that one. Is it a new one or an older movie, or? So I'll have to look it up, see if I can find it. Let's see. Anything else exciting happening? It has been interesting to see. I think we gained 4 new people on the Discord server this week, which was pretty cool. It's nice to see it getting a little bit more lively. RY says, when the Reaper met the other demon lords, you referred to Earth and Aegis of Merlin as Earth 31. Or was it 4? Yeah. Does each galaxy have an Earth? It does. That's one of the quirks of my universe, is that the creator made one Earth, one world with the same ocean, same land masses, human population, but just different as far as magic and technology levels and stuff. But yes, every galaxy has an Earth. That way I have different Earths to play with, so that's always fun. Joe says older with Ralph Macchio. Oh, I'll have to look it up. Maybe I can find it somewhere. Let's see. Byron Harris says, hello, buddy. What did I miss? We were just discussing who we thought was the judge in the fiddle contest from Devil Went Down to Georgia. Sarge says he conceded because that was the fastest way to get him to have pride, and if he has pride, the fall will come faster. It was a tactical withdrawal. That could be. I don't know if you guys listened to it, but there's a sequel. The Devil Went Back to Georgia with Mark O'Connor doing the fiddle parts. That was pretty cool. So, and he did say it was the sin of pride that would do him in. So, yeah, that was a good follow-up video. Let's see. MPK says, sorry, I'm not really participating in the chat. I have this stream running while I'm doing 3 different school assignments at once. Finals are going to be brutal. Oh, man. I remember those days. I don't miss them either. I don't want to distract you, but just out of curiosity, what classes are you doing your assignments on? I'm kind of curious. Let's see. Chippewan says, when you're writing a new book, you set a word count goal for each day, or do you complete your current thought or something different? When I write, I write in a program called Scrivener, and I generally have a vague total word count goal. I'll set like my sci-fi series. My target word count was 45,000 for this one. This particular series usually runs 40 to 45,000 words. So I put that in, and I said I wanted it to be done in 30 days, and then it gives me a word count goal for each day. So if I'm low one day, the word count will go up, and if I'm ahead one day, the word count will go down, and then I kind of work from that. But I almost always go over my target word count. I just keep going until I get tired or my brain says no more. I hope that answered your question. Tinder says, where can I buy a physical copy of your books? Most of my books are available at my Etsy store. If you want, especially if you want signed copies, you can pick them up there. I can grab the link and pop it in the chat. They're also the individual videos in the descriptions. Each of the individual videos will have a link to the either a soft cover or hardcover, and you can pick them up there. And it also allows for a short personalization. So if you have a little note you want me to put in, you can type that in as well. I think 40 characters is what it allows. So hopefully you can check that out. Big Pete says, I'm glad my school days are long gone. You and me both, Pete. I was not a big fan of school. I muddled my way through and never looked back. Arway says, are the Venkar, the advanced race and Roguestar elves or elf-like? They're not elves. They might be elf-like. I haven't actually decided yet, but they're going to be revealed in the 5th book, and so I'll have to decide it as I'm writing. I haven't made up my mind yet. BK says he's surveying 2 static physics and linear algebra. The second one is the only fun one. Oh my. That sounds like a lot of math, and I was terrible at math. I did pretty good, like basic bookkeeping and that kind of math. But as soon as the alphabet got involved, I ran into trouble. But I wish you all the best on that. Hope it works out. Let's see, Global Hoppy. I really love the concept of evil so powerful that you are nothing but dust on the ground. Yeah, that's pretty much describes the demon lords. Luckily, they're trapped in their own hells, so they can't cause direct trouble in the universe. Chipper One said yes. That oh, good. I'm glad you were happy with that answer. So very good. I see the Discord is still popping off. Global Hoppy says trapped how? Oh, trapped for now. Well, they're trapped pretty much permanently because all the angels work together to forge their prison. So their combined might was very nearly equal to the creator. So there's no individual demon lord could destroy it, and they don't trust each other enough to work together. So they're pretty much stuck forever. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Obnubulator, I think. Have you ever played any sort of tabletop role-playing game like Dungeons and Dragons? Yeah, I played in high school. I haven't played since high school, which was early 90s. So, but yeah, that was writing adventures for Dungeons and Dragons is some of the first writing I did. None of it was terribly impressive, to be honest, but it was a lot of fun. I used to sit in the back of math class, and one of the girls that was in my group, we would talk about Dungeons and Dragons instead of paying attention. Finally, the teacher had to separate us, and so we could focus. But neither of us liked math, so it didn't really do that much good. But yeah, math and science were not my strong courses. So I was best at history, and that's what else was I good at? Investing. That wasn't a whole class, but we had a section on investing. I did good with government and law and government. I did good. Let's see. Our way asks, we know angels and humans can have offspring, but do elementals, angels, and demons ever mate with each other to have offspring? Angels and demons don't. They just kill each other. And elementals, I suppose theoretically could, assuming they could get along with a demon long enough, or happen to fall in love with an angel. But they'd have to take on a very human-like form for that to work out. But I mean, there would be nothing stopping them. But Yeah, definitely not demons and angels. That would just be no go. But humans with like a human with a little bit of angel mixed in and a human with a little bit of demon mixed in could get together and have a kid. I've actually got a character in one of my projects that's kind of on the back burner at the moment, and the main character is has part angel blood and part demon blood and mostly human blood. So he's quite an interesting creation. That was I created him for a post-apocalyptic fantasy series I had an idea for, but I haven't gotten back to it. It's just too many ideas, and that one wasn't one I thought would be as popular as some of the others, so I kind of put it on the back burner. But yeah, as far as role-playing games, we played Forgotten Realms, and I played, regular Dungeons and Dragons for a little while instead of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, that was a long time ago. Artblade says they mated once and got 2 kids named Assault and Battery. Oh, dad joke there. Very good. I don't even know the rules anymore for Dungeons and Dragons. I know they've changed at least 3 times, I think, since I last played. I read some of the Pathfinder adventure books in addition to the novels, and they were pretty good. I mean, the stories I enjoyed reading the stories. I never played them or anything. Let's see. Global Hoppy says, I recently read an info article on how new writers get burnout because they don't plan ahead. I have the opposite problem. If I imagine anything, it stays and evolves in my head. Yeah, I have so many ideas. I don't worry about burnout. For me, writing is, some of my favorite things to do. So it's the thing I look forward to the most. So yeah, I don't worry about burnout. I know some authors are like, I hate to say whining about it, but complain that, they just can't do it anymore, or, whatever. And I guess that's true for some people, but I don't know. I just do what I do, and I've been very lucky that a lot of people seem to enjoy it. So I plan to keep going until I run out of ideas, which I can't imagine happening. I do take, short breaks here and there, but mostly I just write one, finish it, and move on to the next one. Our blade says, age shows and the jokes we know tell. Guilty as charged. Yeah. Humor has certainly changed a lot over the years. RY says, I love Jim Butcher's motto, I don't have a muse, I have a mortgage. Yeah. What's his name? There was a writer who worked in New York City, and he said whenever he had trouble coming up with an idea, he would just open the window and listen to the city and know that it was waiting to eat him alive if he couldn't make his apartment payment that month, and it would motivate him to get going. Lawrence Block, that's who said that. Somebody else, it might have been Stephen King, said they asked him if he wrote at a particular time or when his muse came, and he said yes, and I make sure my muse shows up whenever I sit down at the computer, or something to that effect. I can't remember the exact quote. Ob says, would you consider your magic system hard or soft? I consider it medium. every world has different rules, but on that world, the rules are fairly hard. But since as long as you have strong enough willpower, you can make the ether do pretty much whatever you want as long as you're strong enough to withstand the results. So I suppose it's maybe more on the soft side, but I don't know. Soft-ish. I don't know if soft-ish is an option, but something like that. Keith says, part demon, part angel, mostly human. Sounds like a great story with lots of outlets and twists. Yeah, I'll get back to that eventually. Big Pete says, that's a good question. Who's your favorite comedian? Oh, that's tough. There's a lot of great comedians out there. I remember when I was a teenager, I was a big fan of Andrew Dice Clay. Today, probably Dave Chappelle. He's always funny. Oh, I also I remember I always used to like to watch Dennis Miller Live. That was a great show. Global Hoppy says, I think when a series like Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings gets so big that the fan base pester and agitate the writers or publishers. Just a guess, though. Book readers can be toxic sometimes. Yeah, that's definitely true. I know people are always nagging George to, finish Game of Thrones. And I think that's part of what happened with Patrick Rothfuss is there was so much pressure on him that he kind of froze up on the Kingkiller Chronicles. But yeah, I can definitely see that being a thing. I try not to let. I mean, everybody has, I want a new book in this series. I want a new book in that series, but I try not to let that control me too much. I try to write what I'm excited, the story I'm most excited about. If I don't, if I'm not excited about a book, there's no way you guys are going to be. That's my working theory anyway. Chip One says, I can imagine it can get tedious for authors with publishers' contracts and are forced to write to meet deadlines at the cost of creativity. Yeah, I would never want to work with a traditional publisher that way, especially because they have word count requirements. Like, you have to hit like 80 or 100,000 words is in your contract, even if the story maybe would be better with only 60. I couldn't write that way. I just tell the story the best that I can, and I can't imagine like trying to force an extra 20 or 30,000 words into a book, into a story, just to meet a word count requirement. It would be just hard for me to do. RY says, are the daughters descended from the Reaper, or is it just the name of the cult? Yeah, it's just the name of the cult. They follow the Reaper in exchange for their special abilities and knowledge that they're going to have a good afterlife when they die in his service. So. Chip One says, LOL, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Yes, I love that movie. That was one of my favorites. I always wish that they would do another one, sequel. Of course, they'd probably screw it up, but especially if they tried to do it now. Could you imagine? Can you imagine trying to do The Adventures of Ford Fairlane in the current climate, political correctness and stuff? It would be a complete mess. But yeah, I love that movie. It had a lot of big stars in it too. Well, reasonably big stars, but yeah. Big Pete says, yep, don't do commissions. Just build what you want. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I will, like, if I have an idea and I know people have been asking for it, I'll definitely, if I have like 3 or 4 ideas, I'll definitely go with the one people have been asking for the most. But for the most part, I'm content to just sort of do the next thing I want to do. So RY says, I bet Solomon would be a mage if you were in a different galaxy. He might be an alchemist, maybe. I think magic might be a little bit too unscientific for Solomon. He's very much a computer and gadget kind of a guy rather than a hocus pocus kind of a guy. So, but if he could find a system, I could imagine him doing well in a system of magic that is sort of like science, where it's very systemized and very very hard magic system where once you learn how to do it, you could learn the rules, and the rules would always be the same. He might thrive in a system like that, but yeah, he's very much a tech junkie, so I'm not sure how he would manage. Chipwood says Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy was in it. Oh yeah, he played the police lieutenant or something. Yeah, he's hilarious. I liked Ed O'Neill in that show. Artblade said Solomon might be a tech mage. Yeah, something like that. Ob says gun mage. Big Pete says even Vulcans have the death grip thing. Yep. And the mind meld. Don't forget the mind meld. I always think the Vulcans as being more psionic abilities rather than magical abilities. Global Hoppy says, I'm surprised you didn't intertwine a fanatic type sect in the new series. You mean the Soulbound saga? They've got the cult of the one true God. They're sort of like that. But yeah, you don't want to do the same thing in every series. You got to have some variety. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Let's see, who else was in The Adventures of Ford Fairlane? That singer guy. What was his name? I'm terrible with names, you guys. So that kid and the secretary, she was someone reasonably famous, but again, her name escapes me. That's awful. I haven't watched that movie in years, though, so that's my excuse anyway. I remember I had watched it at home, but then it was the same year we went to Disney World. I think I was 13. And when we were driving around in Florida, we drove by a drive-in theater that was playing The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. We didn't stop and watch it. We were lost and trying to find our hotel, but I thought it was hilarious that a movie I had just watched at home was on the drive-in movie theater. RY says, do demons and angels not bother with the Rogue Star Galaxy? They're not as active just because it's more of a technology-based galaxy, but they definitely have their eye on it, just to see what's going on. Looking for an opening always. Chip One says Lauren Hawley. Oh, was she the name of the secretary? I'm going to have to look it up now. Let's see. Yeah, Lauren Holly was jazz. Oh, Wayne Newton. That was the guy who I couldn't think of. And Priscilla Presley. Gilbert Godfrey was in it. I forgot that. He was awesome. Robert Englund was in it. I forgot about him. Vince Neil. Yep, just like I thought. There was a lot of good stars in that. Global Hoppy says no one would want to follow a cult that preaches one thing but does another and forces people to convert in real life, right? Certainly not. Perish the thought. Chippewan says I'm cheating for looking up the names of the characters. I know I'm cheating, but I have a terrible memory. And since search engines are a thing, I figured I'd just look them up. Joseph Blow says, sent your links to my brother. He says he's tired of waiting on Game of Thrones to end. I appreciate that. Hopefully he'll enjoy my stories. Yeah, I got kind of sick of Game of Thrones myself. I'm not buying any more. I got the first 4, but I'm not buying any more until it's either finished or I know he's just given up. And I don't know that we're not at that point now. But speaking of books, I just finished the second book in a light novel series called "The Demon Lord is Reborn" as a everyday commoner or something like that. It was pretty good. I read the first 2 books anyway. Where there's an anime based on it. If you're interested in checking that out. ROI says, so the void gives knowledge or magic depending on which works best for the world. Basically, the void wants to tempt people into making holes in reality so that it can weaken the universe to eventually destroy it. And if it can bribe people with whatever they want, it'll happily do that. Luckily for the universe, the void isn't making much progress, but it's not giving up either. The void will constantly be there trying to destroy everything and get the universe back to the emptiness that it was before the creator arrived and trapped him in reality. So on one level, you almost have to feel bad for the void. I mean, his world was what it was, and all of a sudden it wasn't. Joseph Blow says, any plans to do a book of short stories? I don't have a lot of reading time, so a book of short stories would be perfect for an extended weekend camping trip. I've got some short stories for sale on my my PayHip store, but I haven't collected them into a book or anything yet. I don't write a lot of short stories, although I've been thinking of doing like maybe doing a dozen of them every year and getting Joe to narrate them. Then I could post one a month when I didn't have any novels for you guys. That way, at least I'd be giving you something new. So. Global Hoppy says, real people are dark heroes. We would do anything to survive and protect our loved ones in most cases, I think. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And some people would do anything just for the hell of it, even without a good reason. ROI says, how much time has passed since the creator and the destroyer died? All of time. Basically, the creator made the universe, and an instant later, the destroyer came to smash it. they quarreled and exploded, and that was the end of them in the beginning of the universe. So Ob says, do all schools of magic come from the void? No. None of the schools of magic come from the void exactly. They're more the void shares more like forbidden secrets, or he gives people power, a small bit of his own power, like he did with Yaz in the Dragonspire Chronicles. But yeah, no, the like in the Ages of, well, I don't want to spoil anything, but you discover in the Ages of Merlin where the various types of magic come from later on. So, and it's not all from the void. Some of it, I suppose, sort of is. But like I said, I don't want to give anything away. Let's see. So let me ask you guys, would you be interested in if I did a few short stories to sort of pop in between the longer books, or do you not care for the shorter stuff? Let me know in the chat what you think. It's just something I've been debating. I haven't really made up my mind yet. RY says yes. Okay, that's one in favor of it. Axio says, so thank the gods I made it to a live stream. Love your books. What is maybe the best motivator for you to write these incredible stories? Best motivator? I just, I love to write. So I've always have. So I just turned it into my job, once I figured out how indie publishing worked. Let's see. Axio says, and more of the Squire. I don't know. I don't really have any plans right now to revisit that series, so I don't have a real solid idea for a sequel. So if I get an idea for it, I'll definitely write it. I just don't have one at the moment. Ursula T says, good short story. Yes. Okay. That's two in favor of short stories. I'll have to see if I can come up with some ideas. Big Pete says, I'm sure I would enjoy them, but long form stories of adventure and trials and travel and conquest are the best. Yeah, definitely. Excuse me. I was thinking they would mostly be like fill-ins. I post a bunch of books and then I don't have anything to post for like 4 or 5 months. So I was just thinking it might be something, to do to fill in some of the months where I don't have anything new. Axio says it was very enjoyable. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That was a fun story. That was the third book I ever published, I think. So Tindra says maybe yes. Okay. Artblade says, as long as it's from New James, I'd read it. You haven't disappointed me so far, which is why I say that. All right. RY says, I love short stories. You can focus on interesting stuff that wouldn't fill a full book, like how Conry will have to deal with all the other demon lords. Like Conrio goes to Lust Hell. That would be a great, funny short story. Axio says, don't you have like 19,000 books ready to go right now? I do not. Basically, everything I have that I can post at the moment is posted. I'll be getting sometime this coming month. I'll be getting back. The motion comic, part 2 of the motion comic, and I'll post that when I get it. But yeah, pretty much all the audiobooks that I have the rights to are posted. So Chip One says, I'm with Big Pete and Art Blade, prefer longer, but would read anyway. Okay. Art Blade agree, but prefer longer, but would still read. Okay. It's okay, man. Super great in my opinion. Okay, good. I'll see about maybe doing a few short stories then. Ob says you could do short stories as pilots for more niche ideas and see how well they land. Yeah, that's a possibility. Is the voice actor over your left shoulder? Over my left shoulder? No. Joe lives in Texas. Yeah, he's definitely not over my left shoulder. All right, guys. I know we're still a little early, but my voice seems to be going tonight for some reason, so I might cut this one a little bit short. Probably because I did some dictation earlier in the day, wore it out a little bit. That wasn't the best idea I ever had, but it was good talking to you guys. So Axio says he's good. I love the voice acting. Yeah, Joe's great. He's done all but 5 of my books, so definitely a good voice actor for sure. Big P says, "No worry, brothers. Have a good one." Okay, thanks, guys. See you next time.